What if I told you there's an animal that can survive being frozen solid and then just walk away when it thaws? No superpowers, no science fiction, just biology so strange it sounds like a lie. By the end of this video, you'll know facts so unbelievable you'll want to check them yourself. And honestly, you should, because every single one is true. Nature doesn't need special effects. It already has them built in. Today, we're counting down 15 real animal facts that sound completely fake but are backed by hard science. Some will make you laugh, some will genuinely unsettle you. One might change how you think about your own pet. Welcome to the Animal Ledger. Let's get into it. Some frogs can freeze solid and come back to life. The wood frog found across North America does something that shouldn't be possible. When temperatures drop, up to 60% of the water in its body turns to ice. Its heart stops beating, its lungs stop moving. By every normal definition, it's dead. Here's why it doesn't stay that way. The frog's liver floods its bloodstream with glucose, acting like a natural antifreeze. This protects its cells from the damage ice crystals usually cause. When spring arrives, the frog simply thaws and its heart starts beating again on its own. No mammal could survive this, but for the wood frog, it's just another winter. That's frozen fact number 1, but this next one involves an animal you'd never suspect of being nearly indestructible. Tardigrades can survive in outer space. Tardigrades, sometimes called water bears, are barely visible to the naked eye, yet they may be the toughest animals on Earth. In 2007, scientists sent tardigrades into space and exposed them directly to the vacuum and radiation outside a spacecraft. Most died. Some survived. They can also survive being boiled, frozen to nearly absolute zero, and dried out completely for years. When conditions improve, they simply rehydrate and continue living. Their secret is a process called cryptobiosis. The animal essentially shuts down its metabolism to almost zero, entering a state that's not quite alive, not quite dead. If tardigrades sound impressive, wait until you hear what an octopus can do with its own body. Octopuses have 3 hearts and blue blood. 2 hearts pump blood to the gills, the third pumps blood to the rest of the body. And that blood isn't red. It's blue. Why? Octopus blood uses a copper-based protein called hemocyanin instead of the iron-based hemoglobin in human blood. Copper carries oxygen more efficiently in cold, low-oxygen water, which is exactly where many octopuses live. There's a strange side effect too. That main heart actually stops beating when the octopus swims. This is why octopuses prefer crawling. Swimming exhausts them fast. 3 hearts is impressive, but our next animal has a memory system that puts most mammals to shame. Elephants never forget, and science proves it. The phrase, "elephants never forget," isn't just a saying, it's remarkably accurate. Elephants have the largest brains of any land animal, and a huge portion is dedicated to memory. Matriarchs, the female leaders of elephant herds, can remember the locations of watering holes they haven't visited in decades. Researchers have also documented elephants recognizing other elephants after being separated for over 20 years. They remember danger too. Herds that experienced poaching have been observed becoming more cautious around humans for generations afterward. Elephants grieve their dead as well, sometimes returning to bones of deceased herd members and touching them gently with their trunks. Memory is powerful, but our next fact is about an animal that essentially never stops growing. Sharks have been around longer than trees. Here's a fact that breaks most people's sense of time. Sharks first appeared roughly 400 million years ago. Trees didn't evolve until about 50 million years after that. This means sharks have survived all 5 of Earth's mass extinctions, including the one that wiped out the dinosaurs. They predate Saturn's rings based on some estimates, and they were already ancient by the time trees existed at all. Despite their fearsome reputation, most shark species pose little threat to humans. In fact, more people die from vending machines falling on them each year than from shark attacks. Speaking of animals older than they seem, let's talk about one hiding in plain sight. Your own backyard. A group of flamingos turns pink from their diet. Flamingos aren't born pink, they're actually born grey. Their famous color comes entirely from what they eat, specifically algae and small crustaceans containing pigments called carotenoids. The flamingo's body breaks these down and deposits the pigment into its feathers. This is why flamingos in captivity can lose their color if their diet isn't managed properly. Zoos have to supplement their food with the right nutrients to keep that signature pink hue. It's a powerful reminder that in the animal kingdom, you really are what you eat. Next up is a fact about parenting that will make you look at frogs completely differently. Some frogs give birth through their backs. The Suriname toad has one of the strangest reproductive processes in the animal kingdom. During mating, the male fertilizes eggs, which then embed into the skin on the female's back. Over the following months, the skin grows over the eggs completely, forming small individual pockets. The tadpoles develop fully inside these pockets, skipping the typical free-swimming tadpole stage entirely. When ready, fully formed baby toads emerge directly from their mother's back. It looks disturbing on camera, but it's actually a highly effective survival strategy, protecting vulnerable eggs from predators throughout their entire development. If that surprised you, this next fact will completely change how you see one of the world's most common pets. Cats can't taste sweetness. Here's something most cat owners never realize. Cats are physically unable to taste sugar. Unlike humans and dogs, cats lack a working copy of the taste receptor gene responsible for detecting sweetness. Scientifically, this makes sense. Cats are obligate carnivores, meaning their bodies evolved to survive entirely on meat. There was never an evolutionary reason to detect sugar. This is actually important for pet owners to know. Because cats can't taste sweetness, their attraction to certain treats often comes from fat content or texture, not sugar. Veterinarians recommend avoiding sugary human foods for cats altogether, since their bodies aren't designed to process them efficiently, and this can contribute to obesity or digestive upset over time. Speaking of surprising biology, our next animal can technically live forever. One species of jellyfish is biologically immortal. Octopus dorni, known as the immortal jellyfish, has a trick no other known animal can fully replicate. When injured, sick, or aging, this jellyfish can revert its cells back to an earlier stage of development, essentially transforming back into a juvenile polyp. From there, it grows into an adult again, restarting its life cycle entirely. This doesn't make the jellyfish invincible. It can still be eaten by predators or killed by disease. But biologically, aging itself doesn't have to be its cause of death, which is almost unheard of in the animal kingdom. Scientists are actually studying this species for insights into human aging and cellular regeneration. From immortality to something a little more relatable, let's talk about elephants again, but from a completely different angle. Elephants are the only mammals that can't jump. Despite their power and strength, elephants are physically incapable of jumping. The reason comes down to bone structure. Unlike most mammals, elephants don't have the elastic tendons and joint flexibility needed to push all 4 feet off the ground simultaneously. Their leg bones are stacked almost vertically to support their massive weight, which sacrifices spring-like movement. This is also why elephants always keep at least 1 foot on the ground when walking or running. It's a reminder that in nature, every physical trait comes with trade-offs. Power often costs flexibility. Now here's a fact that connects directly to something in your own home. Dogs' sense of smell is up to 100,000 times stronger than ours. Humans have about 6 million scent receptors. Dogs can have up to 300 million. This isn't just about detecting stronger smells. Dogs can differentiate between individual layered scents, something humans simply cannot do. This is why dogs are trained to detect certain cancers, diabetic blood sugar changes, and even seizures before they happen. Their noses pick up on subtle chemical changes in the human body long before symptoms are visible. This incredible sense of smell is also why dogs can become anxious in places with strong artificial scents, like cleaning products or heavily fragranced candles. If your dog frequently sneezes or avoids certain rooms, it may be reacting to smells far stronger than you realize. Next, an insect that can lift far more than seems physically possible. Ants can carry up to 50 times their own body weight. Pound for pound, ants are some of the strongest creatures on the planet. This strength comes from their small size. Because muscle strength scales differently than body size, smaller animals can support proportionally more weight. Ants also have a unique neck joint structure that allows for exceptional leverage. If a human had equivalent strength, they could lift a small car over their head. This is why ants remain among the most successful species on Earth despite their size. Cooperation and raw strength make them extraordinarily efficient survivors. Our next fact takes us underwater again, to an animal with an alarming defense mechanism.
Some sea cucumbers expel their own organs to escape predators. When threatened, certain sea cucumbers perform a defense so extreme it seems almost unbelievable. They forcefully expel parts of their internal organs, sometimes including sticky tubules, directly at a predator. This can startle or physically entangle the threat, buying the sea cucumber time to escape. Incredibly, the sea cucumber can regenerate these organs afterward, often within weeks. It's an extreme survival tactic, but an effective one in the slow-moving world of the ocean floor. Speaking of regeneration, our next animal takes healing to another level entirely.
Axolotls can regrow entire limbs, organs, and even parts of their brain. The axolotl, a type of salamander native to Mexico, has one of the most remarkable healing abilities in the animal kingdom. If it loses a leg, tail, or even part of its heart or brain, it can regrow the tissue completely, often with no scarring at all. Scientists believe this ability comes from specialized cells that can transform into whatever type of tissue is needed for repair. This is a major reason axolotls are heavily studied in regenerative medicine research today. Unfortunately, in the wild, axolotls are critically endangered due to habitat loss and water pollution, a reminder that even nature's most resilient creatures aren't invincible to human impact. And now our final fact, one that reframes something people fear the most.
Mosquitoes are the deadliest animal on Earth. Not lions, not sharks, not snakes. Mosquitoes cause more human deaths annually than any other animal, primarily through diseases like malaria, dengue fever, and yellow fever. The mosquito itself isn't dangerous. It's the parasites and viruses it transmits between hosts. A single bite can pass these pathogens directly into the bloodstream. This is also relevant for pet owners, since mosquitoes transmit heartworm disease in dogs and cats. Veterinarians strongly recommend year-round preventative medication in regions where mosquitoes are active, since heartworm treatment is far more difficult, expensive, and risky than prevention.
From frogs that freeze solid to jellyfish that reverse their own aging, nature consistently proves stranger and more brilliant than fiction. These aren't legends or exaggerations, they're documented science, verified by researchers around the world. So here's the question. Which of these 15 facts surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments. We read every single one. If you enjoyed this journey through some of nature's strangest truths, hit like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next episode of the Animal Ledger. Because when it comes to the animal kingdom, truth really is stranger than fiction.